Shavuot Tov, everybody. You're listening to Havdalah Happy Hour here on the Beth Podcast Network and broadcasting live on the congregation's YouTube channel. I'm Ben.
I'm Jill.
I'm Emily.
I'm Rachel. Special guest.
Special guest,
Yes,
long-time
welcome.
listener, first-time
Podcaster.
here on the Havdalah Happy Hour.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, welcome. It's so good to have you. And you are here because it is almost the holiday of Purim, which really means it's almost the holiday of Passover, which also means it's almost the holiday
Ben,
of Tisha
stop.
B'Av, which means it's almost Rosh Hashanah.
Ironically, your mom texted me this morning with a picture from 7 Mile Market with all of the Pesach.
Oh my God,
stuff.
it's already giving me
started.
anxiety.
Wegmans has theirs up. I went there yesterday.
Wegmans has a huge display. I was pleased.
Yeah. I've heard Costco has started getting some things in too.
Yes, and
So-
Giant also
Okay.
has a big section for Passover.
This must be so new to you.
It is.
I was gonna ask you.
Falling into Ben's trap. We're supposed to be talking about Purim.
Very true. Very true.
No, but it is a fair point where Emily, who lived in like the desert, which was an actual desert, but also like a desert of Jewish things.
Yep.
Where you had to like start planning early for Passover, yeah?
Oh yeah, they would get a certain amount of Passover things in the stores, and you would buy them up, or we would order from California and hope that what we wanted would come. It was difficult, and there were definitely not as many fun options as we have here. So we're
It was
excited.
the same thing true about hamantaschen?
Costco still got the Manischewitz hamantaschen, so we had that, but there was no bakery where there are delicious flavors like we have here.
So
many options.
Ben and I like apricot hamantaschen.
Yes.
That
Me
is
too.
my okay.
Delicious.
You also. That is my favorite, and I have a hard time deviating, but I will if I have to.
I'll eat the other fruit ones. I'm perfectly happy to do that. Chocolate is like meant to me. It's fine, but like
same.
whatever. If I see a mun hamantaschen, if I see one in this building, I will
No,
lose my
not a
mind.
fan.
And
I
everybody
agree
will
with
suffer.
you. I also like apricot and
Mm.
chocolate and raspberry or strawberry,
Yeah,
whatever the
the
red
fruit
one
ones.
is. That's
The fruit
fine.
ones are fine.
But no,
But apricot
I
is the
cannot do the
superior.
poppy seed. Sorry, no.
I can
gross.
do maybe one every year.
It
okay.
is the
Right, I'll eat
traditional
it as
flavor.
a traditional.
I'll have a bite because it's traditional.
Right.
You can have my bite this year, Jill.
Yeah,
But, okay,
I don't even want my
sweet
bite. Nope.
Versus savory hamantaschen.
I've never had a savory
I have
hamantaschen.
not.
Okay,
either.
so I know it's somewhat controversial, but a savory hamantaschen with like a nice like meat filling is delicious.
Well, I was thinking like a pizza hamantaschen might be tasty.
I mean, also
Pizza-taschen, I've
fine.
made those.
Great.
I've made like dairy savory because, I had to get creative. I didn't have places to buy them, but now I need to know where to get the good like meat filled ones
Wasserman.
here.
Do they make
No sponsor.
Hamantaschen?
hamantaschen?
No, but that's where you get that good ground beef.
Oh,
but you make them yourself.
We
Right.
have like hamantaschen
Oh,
already made.
I
that's-
haven't seen
you guys
those
are
for
spoiled.
sale anywhere.
I'm not spoiled. I'm hoping to be spoiled. That's different.
No, so the
Exactly.
savory ones you're going to generally have to probably make by yourself.
I don't
All
know.
right.
Maybe we should check out the 7 Mile hot
Oh.
hot
Oh,
display.
you know
They
what?
get
That's a
very
That's a
great
and you know what?
They
Market
sure
Maven
do.
also does a nice one on Thursdays. It is definitely worth checking
That's a
out.
great idea. I was at both of those stores on Thursday and
Last
did not
week.
see. Yeah.
Okay, if you were
Yeah.
to eat a savory hamantaschen, which kind would you eat?
Pizza, maybe.
Oh, I want to try the meat ones. Or how about a sushi tashin? Do we have
No.
that?
Okay,
Is
I'm into that.
brisket.
Brisket, yeah. Brisket.
Yum.
I one year had a friend who made a hamantaschen filled with lahmacun, which is like a Yemenite ground beef filling. And if you're familiar with what do they call them? In Israel, they call them arais. I think they call them arayas
Yeah.
elsewhere. It's like a ground beef stuffed pita, which is
Oh, that sounds
I've made
great.
those.
Yeah.
I
Delicious.
would try
Yeah.
anything.
I would eat that with a hamantaschen in like a second.
Yeah, that all sounds good.
Yeah.
We need like a variety feast.
I would try. I would try anything. I'm open to trying anything.
But only on the weekend.
Only on the weekend.
All right. So now we've firmly established ourselves here in the realm of Purim, and we're excited to celebrate. Purim is a very popular holiday. A lot of the kids, it's their favorite. They love it. And it's easy to see why. Not my personal favorite,
know.
but there are things about it that I do
Same. Yeah.
enjoy.
I can enjoy
And-
it for children and
Yeah.
enjoy preparing things
Yeah.
for children. This week I made over 200 schlachmanot for our religious school students.
Very
Do not
nice.
lie to the
Yes.
people, Emily, who helped you.
Oh, my parents are here and they helped me, and that was
Yeah.
fantastic. But they were still made. I worked from home and I made them.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a huge task.
Yeah.
We have a very exciting Purim coming up, and one of the things that I love about Purim, and I'm not just saying this because you're here. I promise you, I thought it when I was driving to work yesterday. You reading the Megillah at the spiel, it is a unique, an amazing, an awe-inspiring thing to listen to.
You do
thank
read
you,
a beautiful
Jo.
Megillah.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's
You're gonna
something
be
I
blown
really
away.
love doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I actually started doing it, I want to say like over 10 years ago because Sandy Winters was still here, our ritual director before Ben.
That's right. My
and-
immediate predecessor.
Right. She was one of the people who inspired me to do it. Now, back then when Rabbi Loeb was here, we did a lot less of the Megillah than we do now. So I just read a few lines here and there. And then when I was in college, a fellow student was offering to teach people to learn Megillah, to learn the trope, because I had just kind of learned the lines that I needed to know, but to learn the actual trope was really special. And by then, I think, Ben, you were here, and I just asked you, hey, I know how to lane now. Can I
Yeah,
do
no,
some
and
of
it's been a really lovely part of Purim. I was going to add to that. And one of my favorite things about Purim, which again is not my favorite holiday, is the way we do it here at Bethel is really just like a lovely way, like the when you read the Megillah. And also, your father is a brilliant parodyist. And I always am so
Ridiculous.
like excited to see how he's able to take whatever the theme is and turn it into something that is both funny, but also like really clever.
Yeah.
And I know you've been helping a lot out in the past couple of years with that.
Wait, for those who don't know, Rachel is Canner King's daughter.
That's a given. We already knew
Everybody
that.
might not know that. Maybe Miriam in Tel Aviv might not know that.
that's
Miriam
fair.
knows. She knows.
Okay. Hi, Miriam.
She knows
Hi,
everything.
Miriam.
Okay.
Yes. So when did you start helping your dad in earnest with the spiel?
Really, last year
Was it
the
last year?
first year. So the past few years, the Bethel Choir has purchased these parody shows from
Right.
a man,
Which is
named
not
Norman
uncommon.
Roth. Yeah, that's very common. And we might have added our own little special twist to it. A few years ago, also maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, my family together, we all wrote a really fun TV themed Purim spiel. What does our family like to do? We like to watch TV, especially those older shows that have really fun theme songs.
Yes,
Right.
And we
naturally.
turn these theme songs into a Purim spiel. Very fun.
Fun. That sounds
And,
really
um,
great.
Did you sell it to anyone?
No, we didn't sell it, but we've performed it twice. I don't. Yeah,
At
you
Bethel?
guys can. Yes.
I don't
was
think I
before
was
my
here.
time.
It might have
Yeah.
been.
I think.
I think my favorite part of that was for the beauty pageant that they have for the prospective queens.
Yeah, right. Beauty pageant, my foot.
We used commercial jingles for each lady.
That
was
is
very
one of my.
fun.
I love a good jingle. You guys
Yes,
know I love a
so
good
fun.
jingle.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was a few years ago. And then last year, actually, we went to the Bethel Choir as a whole went to a production of Dundalk Community Theater. And they were performing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
My
And this
favorite
it was
musical.
back in
Is
the
it
day.
really?
Rabbi Sorokin loves it also.
Rabbi Sorokin loves musical
Musicals
theater in
in
general, but
general,
if
but
it's biblical
that's-
themed,
right.
Yeah. And it's a favorite
So
of my
fun.
family's. We have
I do not love
the
it.
DVD of the Donny Osmond version. We absolutely love it. This was in May of 2023. And it was my father, my sister Sarah, and I. And we were sitting in the theater. And during the intermission, or maybe afterward, we all had the same thought. We could make this into a
spiel.
Purim spiel. I think the first thought we had was Jacob and Sons, Haman and Sons.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's
So cute.
And
like
it basically wrote
great.
itself. It was a lot easier to do with a show, which is just a closed set of songs to use.
True.
But it was a lot of fun to write, and that was completely from scratch. This year, we decided to do a Disney Purim spiel, and that is a little harder because there are so many songs to choose from.
Yeah.
How'd you guys pick the theme this year? I always wonder,
I
like,
always-
is
I
it
always
like
wondered,
a
too.
crystal ball,
And
or
do
is it
you,
like
your dad and Sarah? Does
like
your mom?
how does
or-
that happen?
Oh, everybody in the family helps. It's mostly because I'm the one who's in the choir. So it's
Right.
mostly me with my parents, but my sisters, when they're around, are also helping to write, helping, to bounce ideas off each other. We had actually done a Disney Purim spiel back in 2008, which was actually the year that I was in Israel, so I did not participate. And it was one that was purchased from Norman Roth. And we had decided this year that we would reuse something that we had done previously because it was so difficult to write this Joseph Purim spiel. Well, we just looked at the Disney Purim spiel and decided it needed a lot of updating.
I was going to say probably a little outdated.
Yeah.
Some of those older
so
movies
we
in
ended
particular.
up keeping just a couple of the songs, but then adding a lot of songs from the golden age of the 90s Disney.
Yes,
I think
that's
really fun.
that is the best Disney.
And then also we took some
Amazing.
songs from the more modern Disney movies so that our younger kids would have something familiar as well.
Got Moana
and they've been
Frozen in
cranking
there.
out some,
Exactly,
some
Moana
good
and Frozen.
movies.
The best of the
I
newer
really wanted
ones.
to include some Encanto also, but those songs are
that's a good
pretty
one.
tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I have not seen yet, but I have seen the other. I've not seen Frozen, but I have seen Moana, and I think it's pretty good. Disney has
has a
been
good
cranking out
soundtrack.
some really great movies in the past couple years.
They have, and they go back. So I don't think any of us, no matter what age we are, we always like some of them resonate with us more than others for nostalgia reasons, and
Sure.
some that I watch with my kids, but also some that I watched before I had kids, and like I don't think we could. I can't name a favorite. I can name 5.
Well, you're gonna have to
that
think about it
resonate
because I'm
with
gonna
me.
ask you to name a favorite.
Well,
so
I don't know if I can name one favorite.
well, pick one. Yeah, pretend like it's your children, Jill.
Those
Which
eyes.
one's your favorite?
I don't know.
We'll come back to you
I'm
then.
gonna
I
pick
think
a few.
top 5 is fair.
Thank you,
I think
Emily.
Yeah.
I've got like
Yeah.
my top from my childhood and my top as like the more recent ones.
Top 2.
I could name top
Stop
2.
it.
Top 2.
Okay.
I think my top 2 probably Beauty and the Beast and Mulan.
Oh,
Ooh,
Yeah.
good choices.
interesting.
Mhm.
Before I narrow down, like my 3 nostalgic ones are Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Little Mermaid. Like those
Good
are.
for you for not following directions.
I
You're-
don't.
You're cut off. Jeremy, cut her off.
I don't think he's.
and
gonna
I
do
like
that.
Moana as my more recent one.
Yeah,
That is a good one.
I'm not going to pick 3.
You're going to pick 2
I'm
because
gonna
that was the
pick
rules.
A few. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. I
Yep.
love. One of the reasons I love Aladdin. Aladdin actually came out around the first time I went to Israel, and I had the cassette tape for my Walkman.
Woo! I had
And
a
I
cassette of
listened-
Little
And I
Mermaid,
just
so
remember listening to it like on the bus, just traveling places. So like when I hear the songs, it reminds me of that. But I love the Little Mermaid.
See, that's
I
funny
love
because
Beauty and the
when I think of
Beast.
Aladdin now, I almost exclusively always think of Iran for some reason,
Yes,
and
but
it
not
bothers
because-
me tremendously.
Not because Aladdin takes place in the Middle East, just because I listened to it when I was in Israel. I don't think it's Israel, obviously.
and it has a good
No, I'm not saying it
soundtrack.
is
That's
Israel.
what
I'm saying it's
matters.
Iran.
Right.
Yeah.
But Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, it reminds me so much.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel differently about the movies now than you did as a child? Like, I've seen a lot of things online where people like watch Little Mermaid is a good example of this. Like, oh,
Yeah.
look how happy and free she is. But now, like, listen to your father. Go go
Yes,
upstairs,
yes,
right?
yes,
Like,
yes. But then, like Lion King, I watched that with my kids 30,000 times. So, like, I love that one also.
okay, so I am not a Shakespeare fan, as you all know.
Right.
I'm
so
not either.
I don't love The
Yeah.
Lion King because it is basically a Shakespeare play, but there's some good stuff in it.
I'm asking my kids right now and my nieces and nephew favorite Disney movies. See if any of them have the same as me.
We haven't done too many Disney movies with my kids who are quite little, but we've done some of the Pixar movies with them. And
Oh,
those
sure.
definitely still
Yeah.
hold up. Besides for some of the clunky animation and some of the earlier ones, but the
Like,
stories are just so
what
nice.
Have they see, like which ones?
They've seen all the Toy Stories.
Oh, even the sad one?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I've not even seen the
love
sad
Toy
one.
Story.
I won't
A
do
Bug's
it.
Life. We watched Finding Nemo. I think we tried to watch Incredibles with them, and that was a little
much.
too high level for them. And they loved Monsters Inc. as well,
Yes,
which is
yes.
a favorite of mine.
Those
I
are
love
good
it.
movies,
Yeah.
but no music.
Right, exactly. We haven't done too many
Yeah.
of the Disney musicals because I feel like some of them are a little too scary.
They all have that dark scene to
exactly.
them. They really do. I
Yeah.
think that's like a key thing
I
in
know. We'll have
Disney.
to
They
get
have to have
over
a
that.
villain.
Yeah, they did watch Dumbo at my in-laws' house, which I would never have picked as
It's a
one
little
of the
dated.
earlier
A
ones.
little dated.
You know
on
what?
that
It
one.
might be a little dated,
I
but
always
Dumbo
cry
is a great
with
movie.
The mom and the baby being separated. I don't think I could have watched that with them.
right. I know.
Well, and a lot of the Disney movies do have that, like,
It's only, I feel like,
tearjerker.
fairly
Yeah.
recently when there's actually started to be like both sets of parents in Disney movies.
so my kids
Which
are quickly
one?
saying
And Moana has both sets.
Recently,
Yeah.
Moana has both parents.
Right.
Coco has both parents.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not
yeah.
Frozen.
I'd never
No.
seen it, so I can't speak to it.
The
I've
parents
seen bits
both
and
die.
Pieces of Frozen. So Logan, my son, first immediately said Hercules and Aladdin.
Hercules is a
okay.
great movie, actually.
That
I
is
think it's
good.
pretty underrated in terms of Disney
my niece
movies.
said Lion. She said, "I don't play with Lion King. You all know that's my favorite." And then Chicken Little, is that one?
I've never
Oh, I
heard
don't
of
know
that.
that
What is
one.
that?
And I think it
might
is
not
correct.
be one of my nephew might be messing with.
I was
me,
gonna-
which
I've
would be
never heard of
very
it.
Typical of my nephew to mess with me.
Maybe it's
Okay, so
not
he's
a Disney
fired.
movie.
It might be one of the lesser known ones, like Emperor's New Groove is a lesser known one, or
Yeah.
Meet the Robinsons. Yeah. So
Straight to
there's
Disney
lots
Plus.
of different ones.
Right. But I love Toy Story. It's
Mm.
I don't know. I had every one of those toys when I was little. So
Yeah. Right.
Toy Story is pretty
Well, I'm
good.
glad we're mentioning all these different movies and songs because I wanted to share that we're going to run a little contest
Ooh.
for everyone who's able to attend the Purim spiel.
I love a
Okay.
contest.
For
Okay.
sure,
Would not
we'll be
miss
there.
it.
Okay.
Are these two
We're-
eligible to
I
participate?
believe you guys would be eligible. Ben, I think you're not because
That's
I
okay.
We
told
just
you
can't
some
win.
behind the scenes.
I'm
of our
okay. I
Purim
never win
spiel.
anything anyway, so I've already taken myself out of the equation.
At the end of the spiel, we will have an opportunity for people to submit what songs we have used as our parodies. Did
Oh, I
they
love it.
recognize any songs? I think we're
That
going to say
sounds really fun.
If you can recognize 3 songs that we used, then you will be eligible to enter a contest to win a prize.
oh,
What's the prize?
Oh, we have not revealed that
Secret
yet.
prize.
That's great.
Is it
My
Bethel
kids
shot
are
glasses?
very
Because I need a new
excited.
set.
My kids are very excited. They love parodies. So
Parody,
they're already
yeah.
excited
My-
about
it's
this
so
as
funny,
well.
Like I started a group chat with everyone in my family, and they're all like Hunchback, and
That's a
Lion-
scary
and
movie.
then Lion King, and then my one nephew that did say Chicken Little, he was obviously kidding me. He now just said Jungle Book.
Jungle Book is a
Oh,
great
That's-
movie too.
Yeah,
Good
I
one.
used to love that. I would carry my mother's mixing bowl on my head
So
like the little
cute.
girl.
And
in-
Tarzan.
Lilo and Stitch is
Tarzan's a
sweet
good one.
Oh, I love
Tarzan
Lilo and
is good.
Stitch.
But I like Mulan because she's so strong.
Mulan has a great soundtrack and like it's a lovely
does.
folktale,
I
and they
love
did a pretty decent job with
Pocahontas.
it.
I used to love watching Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is extremely
Yeah.
problematic.
Yes.
And so I think Disney in general has some problematic elements, and let's not
They
mention the
don't all
anti-Semitism.
age well.
They don't
and
all age well, and I don't think that that means that you should eliminate them completely. I don't believe that at all. But Pocahontas is like, there's one thing. It's like egregious. The level of historical inaccuracy is very bad.
I don't know that it was all on purpose, and I think that didn't Disney Plus like put up
Well, they always
banners
putting
before
up
their
now,
movies
yeah,
like
Yes.
the disclaimer.
we didn't change it,
that
but
this
there
movie
are
is from
problems.
1953 that depicts Native Americans in an
Right.
unflattering way.
And the good news is I
Yeah.
sparked conversation between
But that's the
family
other thing
members
is
about
that
it, and that's fun too.
Disney, I think, is something that many families have. Like, it's a unifying thing for many families.
Has everyone here
A lot
been
of
to
memories.
Disney World?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
Really?
Land.
I've been to Disneyland many
It's
times,
very much
California
the same.
Adventures many times, but never been to Disney World. Have you been to both? Because Disneyland
No.
is significantly smaller than Disney World.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
only
know
a
that.
land versus a world.
Yeah.
That's
I've
fair.
been to Disney World a few times and on Disney cruises a couple times.
Yay
but-
for Disney cruises.
Oh, they're the best.
You won't catch me on no cruise ship. I've seen Poseidon
know,
Adventure and
I
I've seen
know.
Titanic. I
You're
know all
very-
those movies. I'm not
very
doing
against
that.
it.
I am very
We went
against
to
it.
Disney World in 1999, right at the end. So I remember there were
That was
lots
26
of
years ago, that's when I
millennium,
got married.
lots of millennium fireworks, which
Yes,
is very
fun.
exciting.
Very fun.
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went when I was in second grade, and then again as an adult, well, a young adult, a college student with my parents, and then as an adult with my parents and my kids, which is fun. My kids just went. They were just there in
I
January.
believe the first time I flew on an airplane was to go to
Me
Disney
too,
World.
man. Well, how old were you?
I
was
must have been in
second
like the
grade.
third grade.
Can you do Disney World in a day?
No,
No.
So you can do Disneyland in a day.
no. Disney
There's
World is
actually
enormous.
like 5 different parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
you
thought.
would spend a lot of the day running around
If you
between
just
the parks.
went to the original Disney World, you could probably do that in a very long
You
day.
could
Magic
do
Kingdom.
one
Magic
in a
Kingdom.
day. One of
Magic
the
Kingdom,
places.
yes, but there's there's Epcot, which
got
I have not been to
Epcot.
Epcot
Oh, I
since
love
I was young.
Epcot.
I hear it's amazing. And then there's the,
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom, and then
there
It
used
was
to be
Universal.
MGM
Yep,
Studios,
yes,
but
Universal.
they
called some
renamed
Hollywood Studios.
Maybe.
Is it called now?
Something
And they
like
have
that.
like Star Wars.
This is bad. I
there.
have a friend of mine who works for Disney. She's going to be very disappointed that I have not paid attention. But, bad. Shame on me. I'll have to call her and ask.
Anyway, I'm super excited for the spiel this year because I don't shame me anyone, but I've never seen I've never seen Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So last year, while I loved the spiel, but this year,
That's one of the reasons we went with Disney, to try and make it accessible to everyone. Everyone's going to find a favorite. Everyone's going to have good memories of their Disney childhood.
Sure.
And all of that.
So
and the
fun.
choir has worked so hard. And I'm just very excited to see the final product coming up soon.
I think all of us are. That's so great. We're so looking forward to celebrating this holiday, seeing the spiel. And since we've been talking about all these wonderful, happy things, now it's time for Shonda of the Week.
but real quick, before Shonda, the spiel.
The music has already played.
Okay. I was
No,
gonna
no,
say,
tell the people.
The spiel begins at 7:30, right?
7:30 on Thursday night.
Evening, and then there'll be an after party. We'll have some Disney music bouncing around for a sing along, and Ben and I are going to curate some trivia questions, and there'll be.
It's going to be hard, though,
there'll
so
be-
bring your
it's
game.
not
Bring it
gonna be as
on.
hard as the
Bring it
Trivia
on.
Trivia. Winner of
I made that easy this year.
no.
I
And,
did.
There'll be some yummy
Easy
drinks
for
that
you.
Maybe we'll make
No,
up
it
some
was easy
yummy-
for everyone. It used to be super hard.
Maybe we'll make a yummy drink together.
I thought we were going to make two.
Okay, and there'll be hamantaschen and delicious hors d'oeuvres. It'll be a fun night for everyone.
That sounds great.
The
It
after
sounds
party.
super fun.
The
I'm
after
looking
party's
forward to
always
it.
fun. This year, I'm getting a ride home.
Forget the ride home, Jill. Don't wear the heels. I remember it was bad. The dancing was
Right,
bad for your
right.
heels.
Right. And
But
also, I
man,
couldn't drink 'cause
you
I was
do
driving.
an
This year-
amazing shuffle.
Thanks. A shuffle
A
shuffle.
shuffle. All right, Jeremy, play the music again. It's time. Shonda of the Week, my friends. We're going to let our guest, Sippy Rachel, go first.
Shonda of the Week. Yeah, this is the real pressure. But I've been thinking a lot about the Oscars that happened almost a week ago at this point.
That was mine.
That
as well.
is quite a
Yeah, I
Shonda.
figured we'd have something to talk about. And there was the No Other Land film that won Oscars.
Film,
Yeah,
documentary.
and I just had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah, sure.
And just how much airtime was given to how Israelis must work with Palestinians and very little given to how Palestinians must also work with
And maybe,
Israelis.
stop killing us. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe if they wanted to show a documentary,
Ah.
maybe they should show the films that Hamas
Oh.
made the day that
They did make their
murdered
own documentary. That's
There you
true.
go.
Hundreds and hundreds of Israelis.
That's authentic Palestinian
that.
film right there.
That's right.
that.
That's not even
Maybe
their
show that
their
film.
propaganda. That's
Right.
like,
That-
yeah.
Propaganda, that's live.
Yeah. That's yes, that is, I think, a Shonda we've all been thinking about.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Terrible.
All right, Emily, what you got?
Well, I'm going to step away from the Grammys, but
Oscars.
Oscars. Yeah, that
They're
one.
all the same.
Yeah, yes. So last week I had a really fun activity with the religious school, and we braided challah, and I was pre-portioning the sprinkles into little containers for the kids to take
I
home.
was watching this
That was
happen, and it
adorable.
was very
Yes.
fun to
And
watch.
we did blue and white sprinkles.
Adorable.
And I bought containers of 100 little to-go cups.
Uh-huh.
And how many little to-go cups do you think should have been in that box?
100.
Except there wasn't.
Oh.
There was 97 in one box and 96 in the
That
other.
doesn't equal
no,
200.
No,
that
it
is
sure
not
doesn't.
What you
appropriate.
call shrinkflation.
Yes. It said 100 on the outside of each box, and neither one had 100. Yeah, I was disappointed.
That is
That's
a
my
Shonda.
Shonda.
All right, Jill, what you got? You have to pick a new one. You can't pick the same.
Oh, Shonda of the Week. I'm gonna go with the 7 Mile parking lot the other day.
Mhm.
That I don't. It wasn't Shabbat. It wasn't Friday.
It's just a day, a regular
just a
day.
regular day.
Oh.
I parked so far away.
But you're alive.
I'm alive.
Baruch Hashem.
Correct. Because I almost got drilled about 7 times. Not my car in my car, like my person walking. Whew.
Was this during religious school break? Because I think that happened recently. My sister's a teacher at Cheder Chabad, and they had off of school, so you have a lot of.
Which day were they off of school?
I mean, it's their midwinter break.
Oh.
So I don't know exactly.
Midwinter break?
So that
It was
might have
3
been why it
days
was.
ago.
What
so
what is
extra crowded.
midwinter break? What is
I
that?
If you
don't
don't
get-
have
I
an
need a
Easter
midwinter
break, and you
break.
don't have a Christmas break, you get a midwinter break.
I need a midwinter break.
But they
I
don't
also
have the
need a
winter break that the rest of the schools get.
Right.
All right, fair enough, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeshiva
that's
break.
when we would always go to Sforim sale.
That's right.
I
Oh, I
risked
missed
life and
that.
limb.
That was one of my favorite things ever to happen in my life.
I'm glad you made it out alive, Jill.
And also the Oscars and the lack of Jewish actors and actresses that chose to not mention one word
very
about
sad.
a hostage. One did mention anti-Semitism in his very long and self-serving speech, but he was the only one.
And didn't he make it into kind of anti-Semitism
Yeah.
and everything
Racism.
else?
All lives matter.
Right.
So, but at least he did say the word.
Yeah.
But one person wore a pin.
Mhm.
And Gal Gadot's husband wore a pin also, but he wasn't in anywhere. That's all. So I had 2 Shondas. Piggyback.
Tova'im hashnayim min ha'achad. 2 always better than
exactly
1.
what I was thinking.
Okay, so I'm going to take my Shonda away from existential crises. And I had the wonderful opportunity to be with the religious school 5th grade class.
Yes, you did. It
yeah.
was fantastic.
It was fantastic. We were having a very nice discussion, and the discussion required the use of a map. And I brought the map, and it was great. It's a great map. Except, I said at the end, anybody have any questions? One kid raises his hand. He's like, "What does SSR mean?" And I was like, "Where do you see that?" And so he points to the top of the map, and there's like a box. So the map is a map of Israel, but there's a box in the corner that has like the greater Middle East as like a whole. And right there in the top corner, Azerbaijan SSR. And I was like, oh my God. So I said it means Soviet Socialist Republic. And he's like, what's that? And I was like, oh, this is the Soviet Union. And we had to have a long conversation. And so then I looked at the bottom of the map. I was like, oh, this map is from 1983 when the Soviet Union still existed. So my Shonda, correct. And I was just like, so thankfully, like that was only one kid who noticed it. But then it did spark a great discussion on how great the film Hunt for Red October is, which one of the kids had just recently watched. I was like, oh, yeah, it is a great movie objectively. But the map, So I've been looking to replace the map, and the real Shonda is there's not a suitable replacement. Like, all of them are bad. Like, they're not good maps. And this one, with the sole exception of this small little problem, is a great map. And so this is my Shonda, and I don't know what to do about it. But,
we need somebody from Israel to get us like the kind that they have in classrooms, like the pull-down maps.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
So we're going to do a
just
little
need
bit
one in
more
English,
research and figure that out. We'll call Miriam. She'll be able to help us out. But I think that's going to do it for us here on Havdalah Happy Week. Sippy, thank you so much for joining us today.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we're looking forward to seeing everybody at Purim. Please make sure to check all your emails and stuff for all of the times relating to these services. But you've been listening to Havdalah Happy Hour here on the Beth Podcast Network. And you can find all of our shows wherever you go to listen to your favorite podcasts or on the congregation's YouTube channel. And remember to please follow us on all our social media accounts, including but not limited to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search Beth Balto. Hope you all have a great week and looking forward to celebrating Purim with you all. Chag Sameach, Shavuot Tov.
Shavuot Tov.